Do 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 do. That's what was on my mind. But I always like to start with a nice tune. So I'm gonna start the show with this one. Let me see.
Hey, this one on me. Nah, hey, it's on me. You know me, that's how it's gon' be. I spent some money on bruh, cause I'm your homie. Loaned him a few bucks, he got lonely. Ain't seen homie around. Something told me the OG was leaking, but the police was peeping. We smoking kush, getting high in your tweeter speakers. Got stripes, Adidas sneakers, not like these weak ass niggas. The heater creeping, don't need a license for me to keep it. You niggas went from EBT to EDD when all she want is BBC. Brother J pushing the beat, PTB, wood grain Wagoneer, 3 TVs, triple OG, and your boy got respect though. You ever rock that high road day? I cut your check, bro. Look at your bank statements for my hand cocked. I just put an easement on a parcel that was landlocked. Why you out here acting rowdy, flossing? I just put a bid on some land at the county auction. And no, not that high roll land, my own land. Arsonist, the pyro man, sparking it. Doing it with my own hands. We pull up like swatting that 5-0 band. You want a verse? It's like you throwing a talent show. With no talent, bruh, you need 5 more bands. I'm real, even though I know reality is simulated. I stimulated your minds with shit I innovated. I demonstrated my prime and still I'm in it, ain't I? You emulated my kind, you feel I'm winning, player? Well, just remember I ain't better than you. I'm just moist in the voice, sound wetter than you. You analyze my
Alright, that's a hot one. Ooh, I need to put that out just for the rappers. What's up? What's up? I'm on my Bay Area best builds chill. And I noticed something about my GLB videos. They're getting a little bit of traction for the game. I haven't seen any other GLB videos that's getting such good, for when you talk about something people don't know about. 100 people looking, that's cool. I'm like, damn. And so what I'm about to make a video is for people who are having hard times stopping teams. And so obviously we got a new issue with the game, all-star teams. Like Hanna-Barbera blew out my team. They gave us the biggest goose egg ever. They're 28-1. And they're all passing team, it appears. And they just ridiculous. But look at their starters. We'll see, this is the newest thing happening on GLB. The all-star teams. All right? Well, it's not, you got to have a really good general manager, like Adderfist must be, in order to get this many stars on your team. Because each account, when you start an account to play this game, you're only going to get 3 stars. Let me see the chat. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, I'm back. I'm just doing my thing. Got some time on my hands. Hit them largemouth bass. I went out fishing the other day, and with my family, we was kayak fishing, and I ain't catch nothing. So I was just like, forget fishing for a minute. Plus, again, with this game GLB, I've been playing this for like 10 years, and we're at like, it's the off season where you want to get your team ready, and so that's what I've been focusing on. Now, here's something to note. This all-star team that blew us out 76-0 got blew out 64-0 in their next game. So when we talk about these goose eggs and when we talk about really pushing forward at this game, and because this is a serious game, I mean, most people who play it take it rather seriously. One thing is general management. If you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 agents together that all have 3 superstars that they manage, then you could get, 15 superstars, right? If you could get that many on a team. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 stars. So for the average person who just comes on this game and try to make a team and start playing, they're going to get blew out. Discouragingly blew out, almost to a point where it's not really good for the game. Let's just keep it real. But I'm a competitor, and I'm on some if you can't beat them, join them at football, right? Because I definitely had no success. It's been goose eggs for me. Well, I've had out of all the coaches, keep it real, at least I'm one that shows some type of success fighting against these star teams. But my team is not star-less. My team has, this is my real team. My team has 4 stars, but not too many of them at the skill positions that matter. My quarterback's regular, whatever. So it's not now, again, Grape Apes has been our nemesis, and they just been handling us. They just knocked us out of the playoffs in a really good game. Shout out to the Apes. But, you know, it's not, even though they're overpowered for our team, the combination of good coaching schemes, look how many stars they got. So the combinations of good coaching schemes, game planning, and having a team that believes they can win is the first way to combat the pressure that these type of teams will put on you. But we want to talk about how to actually, I'll go over some of the most key plays that people have problems with and situations. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't got GLB2 Scout, then you're making it hard on yourself. So I'm logging into my Scout account, and we'll just address this appropriately. In any situation, you know, keeping it on the football field, being honest is not, you know, considered not knowing what's coming next, basically. So I guess we're going to say something that's dishonest is smash mouth football. You know, where you know exactly what they about to do next, right? And I'm just going to pick a team, a good team, the Dreadnoughts. I won't expose them completely because that would not be fair to put out everything I know about, you know, stopping certain type of teams. But I just want to use this as an example. They're a really good running team, but they're an all-running team where they play smash mouth football. And for some reason, they've been allowed to go, like, have a really good record. So I'm like, dang, you trying to tell me people can't figure this out? Now, they've been smashing on my team. Don't get it twisted. But they're a level higher than my team, than my journeyman team. Than my Pop Warner team. But, so they went 22-5. And if you scout this team, you're going to find out they don't do nothing but really run the ball. Right? So this is a scouting tool I'm using called GLB2. You possibly, if you don't got the tool, you just got to do real life scouting, which takes a lot more time. You'd have to come find the team, click on them, and watch their games and see which formations they're in. If you don't got that much time on your hand, you're going to use the tool. So I'm trying to let it load up all of their plays so we can start addressing it, hand out a few strategies for some of the plays that and formations that puzzle people. But and then I can look at my team's success against these formations and show that it really do something, you know what I'm saying? And so, if this thing ever loads up. And so I learned when making my GLB videos to not really have my brain in the live video format, because sometimes that'll discourage me. But I understand that type of content it is better for. When people come across it and they're interested in the game, they view it. And so I'm just training myself not to look for or be discouraged by no chat activity and stuff like that. You feel me? Because I'd be like, oh, man. But nah, hell no. So let's see if this loaded up yet. Okay. So for this team, it's showing us that they run 83% of the time. So concerning game tags first, you're going to want to make sure your defensive tags, when playing a team like this, is set up for 80% of the time. Most coaches won't go through the labor of putting in a playbook for each team. But some of the better coaches might. I definitely do. So if you have a team on this game, I got a playbook for you. Things change and we might not encounter. It don't matter what you're seeing right now because, this is just for learning purposes. And so we see they run 83% of the time. So one of the first things you got to do is understand about the game is your tags have to be set correctly. They give your team a bonus if they know what the other team is about to do. So an honest tag is pass run. Outside run means everybody at the first few ticks after the snap, they're all focusing on making sure it's not an outside run. And they get a bonus if it is. Same with inside run and pass. So I played the game for years after tags came out and never really knew that tags gave a bonus. So it might be some people who still don't know that. You playing an all-running team, it's two things you want your cornerbacks to do. I don't care. You want them to stay in the cover 2 flats, or you want them to blitz. No man coverages, none of that. They're either cover 2 flats or blitzing if you're playing against an all-run team. So when you look through my playbook, all my CBs is either going to be blitzing or in a CB flats. And now this right here is a defense I'm taking out. For one reason, it contradicts what I just said, and I didn't want it in there like that. It was a vulnerability. And so this package right here, and this is a risk, but my team is built for this risk. So I'm going to take the risk out. But this package right here that you're seeing, and you could probably pull up all of these plays, should suffice to hold him. If you got your tag set right, you won't get bullied on the inside or the outside against 2 wide receiver all-run teams. They're going to have less success than your defense. Their morale will go down and your defense's morale will go up. So it's just that easy. For all-run teams, the flats covering the outside and the blitz also covering the outside. And now if they pass, like this team passes 17% of the time, while you're game planning, you're going to see if they actually do that from the formation that you're setting up the defense for. So we took that out to only show us 2. Hey, shout out for the subscription. See, that's why I do a GLB video, because we bringing new people to the game. It's not necessarily about my YouTube viewership. If you're interested in something like this, oh my God, start a team right now. It costs though. You can start a player for free though and join a good team. So now we're going to see what they do in 2 wide receivers to make sure that I'm not saying dishonesty is knowing what you're going to do. If being honest is not knowing what you're going to do. So if this defense that should only work when we know what they're going to do will actually betray us or not. And then you set up the percentages right in the computer, you're going to be on point. So basically, if he runs 83% of the time, I'm going to tell my tactics to look for the run 83% of the time. And then if I put one pass option in there, it will only be for the situation where our scouting tells us this person passes. Now, when scouting, you also got to look through each team and see what type of a coach they are. Some coaches like me, I change up every team. I got a scheme for your team. So scouting us doesn't work. You can only scout what I did against your team. So we're going at him and 2 wide receivers, and we notice he passes less in 2 wide receivers, 90% rush and 10% pass. So the whole season he did 1,700 rush plays and 200 pass plays out of this D. So that what did that tell us when it comes to our tactics? To set for our tactics at least somewhere in between 83% rushes and 90% rushes. But at least for this formation, we want to look at what those pass threats are to see where we'll be vulnerable. Now, against this person, we exactly will not be vulnerable. His only passes are screens. Okay? And so if I'm sitting at the house, I know I can shut you down. So this team that's been beating people by 100 points, they played my Pop Warner team, which is a whole skill level under him, and only put up 24 points. And I know he was at the house like, damn, I'm glad that was a private game. Really, because I would have showed the whole league how to stop him. But what I'm showing you right here is the same thing. He also does one strong out play action scissors that only triggered 4 times in the season. And he got sacked 75% of the time when he ran that play. So 3 out of the 4 times he ran that play, he got sacked. The offensive coordinator's taking that out of the playbook. So that means to us, when figuring out what to do, we know this D gonna shut them down. We could go look at the results of what I'm saying at a game I played against them and prove it. But that's how intense it is and how you really want to approach things. And obviously people switch stuff up, but you're looking at what he did in like 30 games. So if you're going to switch stuff up, you're going to be in Never Never Land because you already doing what you think going to work. See what I'm saying? And so don't be surprised. People will switch it up on you, and I don't always run. It depends on what type of game you're in. But that right there just shows you how to handle at least a 1 all running team's 2 wide receiver set. You might get, it gets more intense with a 1 wide receiver set. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know, Wildcats be trying not to learn from how I shut them down. But sometimes I watch the league adjust to my defenses and start running the same Ds I'm running. Because I watch every game and be like, y'all wasn't running that. Now y'all running that. You feel me? And, you know, we all do that. I'm very honest in learning from the better teams. I'm not going to have an ego about doing something that works. If they're showing something that works, then it's just like in real humanity, copying is not a thing, and it's not a bad thing. Like, you know, but in arts and commerce, it is. See what I'm saying? Like if somebody come to a football team with a style that's better than the last style, then adjustment is good. I'm really just talking while I'm waiting for this data to populate. And sometimes it gets stuck. So I'm going to just go by my playbook. Now, 3 wide receivers on an all-running team, I can just tell you, you just go all-out blitz and they ain't got nothing they going to do. I mean, let's see how much he passed 3 wide receivers. Well, we in the 1 wide receiver right now. Now, we still have 90% rush, 10% pass, right? What are the passes? If the only 63% of the time the passes were big eye halfback screen, and he only did big eye play action tight end seams 6 times, then you can prepare for the 1 wide receiver by over covering the outside. And I repeat, I can show my success with this game plan, and then you're going to see certain formations, cats just can't do nothing against my team. So if they got one wide receiver on the field, they're most normally going to be trying to sweep left. It don't matter which way they're trying to sweep or if they're trying to run up the middle if you rock this playbook. All out blitz on somebody who try to bully you like that, with the inside run tags or the outside run tags. CB zone blitz. It's nothing. It's over. Double DB blitz. What you want is 4 up front. The people in the zone to know that they about to run, and the CBs to be blitzing. You can't really have 3 up front. It's gonna collapse too many of the times. 5 up front is too cool too, but it's more of a risk on the outside run. But it works. All running team and 1 wide receiver set. You want this to be your long play, even though it says short for me. You will want this to be your long play because you still got to cover 3. So when they try this other play, if they tried it on 3rd down, you got that covered. They only got 3 going deep. You got to cover 3. All right. And you got 2 other in the middle of the zones who was going to be clogging up the middle. So the double D blitz specifically against like an all-run team. Now, I'm not going to go all the way through it like that, but because, that's actually a real team, and I'd rather analyze my team, which is more fair. Which you won't be able to get data like this that's going to help you as much because of the way that I game plan. But people don't really seem to be tripping. You can see who the most scouted teams are, and we ain't one of them. We just one of the most winningest teams. And so, yeah, let's go to something else. Maybe a more honest situation. I'm going to click on my team, the Bears' best builds, so that I don't feel like I'm stepping on nobody's toes by scouting their team live, you know what I'm saying? So let's see what results they pull back on us. And our overall record this year, we had a tough time in the ladder. Our league record is 11-3, but our ladder record is 4-10. You feel me? But the ladder is because we had to play teams that were overpowering us, and I don't even really game plan in that situation because most of the times at that level, you're going to lose them. Unless you got an all-star team. So why didn't give me no data? It did. It said we passed 63% of the time. All right. I just want to show something. A similar scenario to the last scenario, how do we address what the Bears' best builds do in 2 wide receivers? So I guess it's waiting to bring me back some other data. But there's a lot of mistakes I see us making, and a lot of the stuff help. A lot of simple things that we can learn about just setting up our defenses. That'll help the average new person. So here we go. Now in 2 wide receivers, so if they wouldn't have scouted us individually by set, they just would have set it up to 63% passing, and what they would have done is been caught off guard when we got in a 2 wide receiver set. Most scouts know that, so they'll look at each set. We run 63% of the time when it's 2 wide receivers. So what passes do we do? Now, this is why I really love my execution, because you could come scout my team and see that our completion percentages and our execution rates are lightweight off the hook. So I done this play 41 times, and we've completed it over 50% of the time. That's wonderful. We've done this play 33 times and completed it 57% of the times. We have a play that I don't do a lot, I hook outs. It's just only done it 8 times, but we completed it 62% of the times. So some of the times when you're scouting, first of all, this will be a problem for you if you're scouting because you like, what do I focus on? You're probably going to focus on seeing what's my favorite targets and make sure your defense acknowledges that. But we also run to the outside almost as much as a little bit more than we run to the inside. So you got to choose, again, you're going to choose to probably stop our outside running threat, which is allowing us to make high completion percentages on these passes. And so when you planning, you need to take things like that into account as well. Like, okay, we known for running out of this, and so obviously when we pass out of that set, it should be in an important situation because most likely we will be manipulating the computer to give us the bonus instead of the defending team. And so you can plan for us how you want, but again, the outside run, even though you might want to plan for it, we try to keep it honest as well. And so if they go to plan for that, they'll see we sweep to the right a lot, but we also do sweep left a lot. Anyway, these are the things you got to take into account. And so if we want to talk about, again, some of the best unrevealed honest defenses for that set, we'll talk about them. And this is not for the experts, because a lot of experts could disagree. But if you're not taking the effort to help the new people keep up the speed so they can stay motivated in the game, then I guess they have to hear what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And so, let's look. For an honest defense, obviously, it's an overlooked honest defense for the cover 2 set. This is one of my Pop Warner pass defensive sets. But let's just go back to start from the gate. And I'm going to go over here. To 4-4. So I got you in this 4-4. It's going to depend on whether you like your left outside linebacker to stop the outside run more than your strong safety. But in certain instances, I believe the left outside linebacker, which is very similar to a strong safety, he might be more versatile in this instance to play this other zone. And so I'm just recommending some simple, honest Ds that work a lot for me, and others I don't see people using much. The reason why this worked is because we got 4 in the box, right? And so if they want to run it up the middle, we got 7 people who focusing on that already. These 3 people are playing honest man coverage. And so they're going to look to see what happens as the play set out. The outside run is typically shut down with this play to the right, and that's one that we threat. The reason why is because the left outside linebacker starts with a drop back, a deep drop back on this play. So normally when he would get clogged up on the CB, that doesn't traditionally happen on this 2-man under. And so instead of just bumping my rumps, this tool will give you data to see if what I'm saying is true. So I'm going to show my team defenses, right? And if you want to see if that really works, let's see. 4-4 2-man under, apparently they say I only called it 7 times this season against this set. But even still, that's because I game plan for each team, and I don't really have to play too honest. But no first downs was completed on it, no tackles for loss, and it only averaged 2.6 yards per carry, which is good. But I want to show an example of someone trying to run to the outside on this play. So here's the longest run that happened against this play. It was a weak halfback dive week. It was against the program too. So this is one of the best. They the champions. They're the best team in this league. And I know to run this D, this is probably the only game I ran this D in because of their outside threat while I still got to cover in the middle. So what I want you to focus on is how Benny Price as soon as the play start, he's going to clear the blockage that most wide receiver number twos try to provide on outside run plays. Even though they're running up the middle, let's see how Benny reacts to this play tick by tick. So the ball just got snapped. And look, I keep this like this on purpose. Other people can do what they do, but my snap reaction on my linebackers is just what we see. They ain't even moved yet. Because really when you play linebacker, that's how you play linebacker. Unless they told you to blitz, your first few seconds is identifying the play. So why I want them to snap react hella quick and go acting like they know what the play is before they do. Right now we seeing this a run because it's kind of revealing itself, so they ain't moving into motion. You see my man Benny's backing up. This is going to clear him of the blockage that now he's responded to the run. But since I had people with 3 responsibilities in there, we would figure one of them would get to this man first. But this team is so good that this dude is leaking. Well, I got to zoom in for you to get the true analysis. Right here is just some awareness issue going on. Why are you turning, looking that direction? Maybe to meet the running back in the middle, but it would have been best if he jammed the line. But what to focus on right here is this cover 2 zone that the left outside linebacker is playing. It's still putting back far enough behind the cornerback that always create blockage and make big outside. Excuse me. It makes big outside runs on this game. And so that's something that people have to focus on if they really. So, I mean, you know, it didn't give up no really big bust against one of the best teams in the league, but I don't got no examples of it. Well, I could go look deeper for examples of it against the outside run by coming here, selecting a 2 wide receiver set. And now you see how we are deep into football analysis and not just willy-nilly trying to see what works. And so first thing I look at are some of the longest inside runs against this play, and some of them, you know, this is an 18-yard run on the week out. Let's see how that happened. All right. This is the program against another team that I coached too. And so that's why the same D is popping up, because they're running one of my defensive sets. But they have no match against the program. So this is why you come to look at the data to see why it was so easy for him to run this. So look, the players are really in position to stop this play, but they don't got the right personnel. This dude is completely turned around. And so some of that got to do with awareness. Like, why is he completely turned around? Sometimes I think the game needs to focus more on that. This guy right here. And so, but even still, my goal with this is to make sure that this linebacker drops back and remains elemental in the play. And as we're going to see, even though they ran too far, he made the tackle. And so this ain't what you wanted. This is Minota Maulers. There's no way they could stop the program. Like, this program is an all-star team. Minota Maulers' owner don't really care much anymore, so he don't game plan. And so even though we see a missed tackle right here that could have even did some damage, I wouldn't use that data to say that this isn't a good play to run against that. And I'm pretty sure all of these big runs we see against that is going to say, look, Nebraska against Minota Maulers. There we go again. So Minota Maulers is just not a team to assess how good a play is. This is a 5-yard run against the Minota Maulers. And then here go the long run is going to be against the Minota Maulers. And so the data that we got don't let me know that that's a bad play to the outside. They just was playing a weak team. Now look at this. Just so you know, It's not a lot of data from this season on this play because I'll be the only one running it. I'm just keeping it real. A lot of people run it, but we could just simply go through all of the data and see who else running it. But look at how good it worked. Well, weak eye flag deep post got completed 33% of the time out of 6 plays. So it got completed twice out of 6 plays. Now, it stops the cover 2. Look, this is a good team. There go my D again, my Nota Maulers. Oh, y'all can't see that? Let me show you. So, when we look into this play data, a lot of times we're going to see that's the Minota Maulers again. And the same thing we are focusing on is first, whether this linebacker drops back far enough to stop an outside run. And he's going to do it every time consistently. If they would have ran outside, he would have turned around and beat that up, and he would have had the support of these 2 people. Now they're passing on the defense. And, again, if it wasn't the Minota Maulers, it would have been 2 people over there ready to stop that pass. And so this defense is seeming to be pretty honest and pretty a good defense for everything. I mean, you know, in the Smashrock set, other people will say that defense is horrible. Well, let them say what they say. But we're looking at the data. Now, I don't know what's up with these long inside runs against this D. So let's see what happened. 11 yards. So here's where they're taking advantage of it. If you will, and it's against the Minota Maulers. But this is how you take advantage of this D. Since you know that the left outside linebacker is going to be dropping back, then you're going to run off tackle because he's not crashing down. And this conflict between the tight end and the linebacker should happen out at about the 5-yard line instead of, look, it didn't even happen. So he's still prepared to make the stop. If Minota Maulers was a better team, this would have been a stop. Look, linebacker right here missing the tackle and got there hella slow. And so, again, from looking at that was because that was a weak team. And so, now let's look at it against the outside run a bit. All right. And I want more data, so I'm going to go to previous seasons, see if it provides a little more data. No, less data. Well, anyway, I'm talking about some honest plays. Now, although wide receiver hook was played on this play 3 times and got completed 66% of the time, I think this data is going to come from it's definitely going to be one of my teams, but it's going to be somebody really good like the Grape Apes. Oh, Midnight's Vegas Snow Leopards. So I tried, even though I'm blowing them, I'm beating them because there's 4 minutes left in the quarter. So we looking for the pass. My left outside linebacker my left inside linebacker going to keep getting burnt here. That ain't even burnt. The dude just good and he made the catch. So I ain't mad at that coverage either. He just made it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they just make it. But that's good coverage. Oh, y'all can't see as good as I can see. But so anyway, I won't keep going on that, but that would be the process to selecting. I just want to see it against an outside run a few times and see how this reacts to something like this. So what I was talking about is this linebacker blockage, right? I mean, this blockage right here that's often created on outside plays between, and if the linebacker or free safeties often get caught there and allow big outside runs, you can still play aggressive and don't have to be conservative. He just missed the tackle. But he was right in position, look. He just missed the tackle. But the outside run is really shut down with that D. So he missed the tackle. It was 2 people on him. More data. So these are the type of things you want to focus on. What's happening here? 2-man under. Let's see what happened. This dude is just corny. Even though he cleared it up and he could stop it at about a 3-yard run, which would be good, what does he do? Oh, he ran straight into a blocker. So what happened here? We got 4 up front, these 2 dudes. So he got blocked. He's just going to Never Never Land. Like, even though there's a run play, he's just about to go run over here because he's probably a computer player with no awareness. Now he peeps it's a run play. These dudes is blocked, and he got blocked. So this play seems to be good against this. And really, they just didn't do no jobs over there. Nevertheless, I'm going to just go back and again move forward. To be honest, and then we're going to show some I don't want to be honest plays. That, and then I'll do a regular. Don't underestimate your regular cover too, man. But then we can talk about plays never to do. This is pretty good too. A lot of people run it and teams learn it, and then it'll help you out. But if you're watching the outside run on this play, a lot of the times it's shut down. Judah Nash, what's up? I'm on my chill, relax hype today, and this is a game that I play when I'm, this is a game I love. But it's football strategy. But I just did a video earlier talking about some topics that you might love. Like I was talking about the migrations from West Africa to East Africa. Check that video out. And so, just the honest cover too, man. Don't sleep, dude. It stopped a lot of stuff. If you got it set right. Because you trying, right now we're talking about a little bit of versatility, right? You still want to keep the 4 up front, but if you have to do anything with a cover 2 in and you need to set a tag, set outside run. Because most everything else is covered with a general cover 2. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm not showing no scheme defenses. I'm showing all simple stuff that can help just an average person. And so now I want to show something else real quick. The reason why I'm making a team, 2 wide receivers, show defensive report. I'm making a team that is based on 1 or 2 defenses. Everyone tells you that's not advised, right? But I want to take, not this defense, there's one close to that. And you see this one got a big play done on us 60% of the times. First downs, 66% of the time. And a long play, 62 yards against this D that I'm choosing to make one of my only Ds next year. Why? Because I'm doing it for the challenge of it, the fun of it, but I'm building the team to make them react differently to this. And so let's look at some of the failures of this defense. Also, this is me running it against a team that's well overpowered, by the way, but let's see what happens. So this is what I'm building my new linebackers for. They're going to shoot this so quick now that it ain't going to be no way you can, at least if you get him blocked, and I got to also build him right. This free safety. So it's working, I think. But this is what I'm doing all next season for the fun of it. But watch him exploit it. So basically right here, Benny wasn't fast enough to keep up with Dude. But I'm going to have fun with this next season. We might be called the Sin Sevens or the Double Tigers. And I'm going to run this play. So I want to look at some of the data. And you see that there's been a lot of big outside runs against this play, right? That's cool. So that's something I'm solving with my team build. Now, if we go to passes, let's see what happens. 70% completion against this D. Let me see something else. 38% completion against this D. But this is what you didn't see. A 46% sack rate. So half the time when I got this D in, I get a sack. And they only get 38% completion. So I'm really building my team to Not that deep. Damn. So that's a good one. It's still working in there, but it is. Where that thing at? We basically gonna be the Tigers, but maybe I didn't run it in this formation. I don't see it. But regardless, I'm getting stuck up on what I want to do, and more or less, I was showing people how to the type of game plan it takes to stop getting them goose eggs and to stop getting goose egged. You see what I'm saying? It's very much more intense than getting discouraged thinking you're not a good schemer. It's not necessarily about you. It's about the amount of information and data that you have at in your hands. You see what I mean? And so, and I'm not gonna pull out of my plan to build the team the way that I want to build it. But if they just weak, I'll just reset them the next season and have a season full of losses. So let me see something. This is what I want to build my team to just run this defense all day. I have a lot of fun with it. So here we are against a really good team that's about to get a completion on the play. Now, when analyzing this, I know they're getting the completion, so that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the coverages. I'm sending 7, but I still am going to have thorough coverage in almost every position. So let's see if that's true. See, like ain't nobody. See, if I knew I would be building this defense, this guy would have been built to cover the zone as good as I built this guy. So see how much closer he is to his defender, causing the quarterback to see he's open over here. But in all honesty, I'm sending 7 and everybody covered, yo. Like in a man coverage. So it looked like a man, but it's really a zone, and that's why this play got a big gain on it. But the part I'm concerned about, I don't even care. And it's going to be fun. Let me see. Close out some of these screens. So let's go to another formation. And again, you need 5 sets. But I'm saying if you be confused and you be losing and you need honest D's that might work very good, I would defer for this. If they pass all day on you and if they pass all day on you and you're in one of these and you set the outside run, you're still going to get some third down stops. All right, you're still going to get some stops because the coverage is just really good in there. And so for 3 wide receiver, most teams, now this is not an honest playbook. This is my playbook. So that's what I got in there. But I'll take these plays out real quick. And say most teams in 3 wide receiver obviously going to pass most, right? But when you scouting, you'll get that data. We'll set up for a few situations in 3 wide receiver. All right. And most people going to do something like this. Tight end, C2 tight end smother. But you got to realize most quarterbacks in the league see that defense so much that they're going to know it. They start to get knowledge of it. And as their knowledge go up, its effectiveness goes down. So a lot of people like the 3 wide, this for a medium or a long pass. But I'm just going to cut to the chase for the new people, not you OGs who know better than me. If you just getting into the game, you need to have middle linebacker cloud in on this play for one of your long pass plays. Let's look and see if what I'm saying is true by looking at the data. We'll go to Play Analyzer, and we're going to go to Defense. Dime 55. And we're about to pick. Oh no, it's not a dime. It's a nickel 335, and we're going to pick. What we picking? I forgot what we picking. Oh, middle linebacker cloud. And we're going to look at the data from a 3 wide receiver set. to know whether we're using bogus defenses or big defenses. Now, this is what you like to see, and this is what I like people to know about this game. How many, look, I'm going to make this data field really big so everyone can see. You're going to see right here how good this defense is. This is the passing plays that occurred against it this season. You watch the completion rates. There's not, the 40% is like one of the highest completion rates against this defense. Certain plays that people have done 210 times against this defense only got completed 19 times. 19%. So, again, these are the type of things you want to know. And then the most popular plays, you want to see what's its effectiveness against that. People have done shotgun drive against this play 237 times and only completed it 24% of the time. And so, instead of running around willy-nilly, and this play is strong enough to not put the pass tag on. I got to minimize my screen again. This play is strong enough to not put the pass tag on. I even played this play inside run against teams that try to inside run on the third down or try to run outside on the third down. If they watching the inside run, they're gonna see the outside run too. Vice versa, you still got a run penalty. Tag benefit. And so that's an honest D for long 3 wide receivers. For those guys who run up the middle all the time, 3 wide receivers, and like one of those all running plays, you're going to do this, and they're going to be frustrated. If they just run up the middle all the time, FS Tigers, in any formation, some teams just don't run outside because they didn't build a fast enough back. FS Tigers becomes your best friend in that situation. No matter what the set. Now I'm going to go to the data for a worse set to run this play in and watch how good the data is. All right, we're going to go to the data for FS. But what we seen right there, hold on. What we seen was that middle linebacker cloud is good, a very good overall defense that'll help you shut some people down. Let's see what got the most completions against it. These 100% don't count because they're always going to be on a screenplay. And, people never drop screenplays. And this single midfielder cross only got used one time. All of these 100% got used one time. Here go another higher percentage. All the higher percentages are screens. So who cares you catch it on the screen is whether you get yards or not. So here's the highest percentage play. Shotgun halfback flat, that's another screen. Single back Z spot completed 75% of the times. Pistol wide receiver hook is good against this D 68% of the times. And so those are the things you want to know too. All right. Like to see if you see those plays in your in the person you're going to play playbook before you actually call it and dedicate. But I wanted to pull up some data on 4-4 FS Tiger against a 4 wide receiver set and see how detrimental running this play could be. First of all, all of the runs is shut down. The longest is a 5-yard run. There's not going to be a lot of data from this play because I'm probably the only coach risky enough to run it against the set, as you see here. I bet you all of these are my team. If you go look at the replay data, let's see. Bay Area Best Bills against the Grapes. Bow, there we go. And so this is what I'm showing you. In this instance, I'm not going to be able to run this against them too many more times. All they got to do is run it to the outside and catch me at a disadvantage. But if you're playing smash mouth football, there's no way they can win this situation. And it's like why we play chess too, right? Because there's certain situations that even if your team prevails and you get the roll, my team is in the most advantageous position. You got 5 up front. I got 4 up front with 2 behind them. So they're outnumbered from the jump. But the guy who's blitzing ain't even one of them. See? And so your O-line going to get caught off guard and have to have high awareness in order to shift and make a stop that would benefit you for a positive yard gain. We can watch it tick by tick. So since he's blitzing right now, officially I'm the halfback if you want to think about it, because I'm running through the safeties, the halfback, trying to get through that hole, and you starting after him. And so now look, this center in the middle is not even adjusting to deal with the Tigers blitz. He's still holding the same responsibility, which is this inside linebacker. So watching. So that means I got a free shot at the halfback with my strong safety. And it's coming. So the halfback see this coming and he's going to try to avoid it. What you want. You want somebody to make a last minute cut right around this line because they ain't going to get tackled. And he didn't really make no cuts. That's slow-mo. He like, I'm going to run right through you. And so now he got through the first dude, but we got the second line of defense right here, which makes this a wonderful play, obviously, for stopping the teams who just try to bully you up the middle from a 4 wide receiver set. Whenever you see this data, it's pretty much going to reflect the same things. Here he makes a 4-yard run on us because it was a crucial – this is a game where they blowing us out. So my team's morale is a lot lower at this point. And so he's going to make – but still, in theory, you got the ball, but in theory, my player is playing the halfback. I know you don't understand that, but it makes sense because it's all about who gets to this hole first in this instance. All right, and so here we go again. Now in this play, the center acknowledged the middle blitz and he abandoned his responsibilities. As you see here, he's staring straight at the blitzer and he's about to try to acknowledge that. But now he turned to his previous responsibility. I still got 2 dudes there ready to stop him, but slow-mo's too good for that or whatever. Slow-mo, whatever. So he shook the first dude, and now the second dude there to make the tackle, he got the tackle. It's still effective, even though that was a 5-yard run. But against a team like this, you'd be happy with a 5-yard run. And so, but when they gonna lash you is when they go outside. But notice I never got caught slipping because I schedule on our game plan. So no one has ever ran that play to the outside on me because I would have been ready for it because I would have seen that that's in your repertoire. And so this helps too for the inside run 4 wide. But we're trying to help the people who don't play as much. And so you also want to have honest defenses in there. Now, this honest defense has cost me a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold up. Every time I look to the other monitor, I see that I had to zoom in for the game. And when I go back to the playbooks, I must readjust. So, excuse me. This C2 wide receiver smother is pretty cool for a 4 wide receiver set because a lot of the time, people try to exploit what wide receiver number 3 can do in that set. But if you look at the data, you're going to see that I learned this season and I got lashed by that play because a lot of really good coaches just took advantage of us for running that. And so I'm going to go back to analyze it. And it was against this cover 3 wide receiver 3 against a 4 wide receiver. Now you're going to see the same team run like a 58-yard run, the same team that just wasn't getting up the middle. If we look at the data from this season, I remember them getting like a 58-yard run on me against this play, but it doesn't seem to be registering here. What year are we looking at? The current season? Well, anyway, it's pretty successful. And the only thing that's giving it a 50% problem is the shotgun single play action spread. Pretty sure this is going to be my team again. Yep. Bay Area's best deals against the Screaming Eagles. So our goal is to double team this dude right here because I know who a lot of people be targeting in this play. But here's an instant of it not working. So he's really triple teamed. And look, he still caught the ball. So this wasn't my fault. Perfect coverage, perfect play call, and this is why this play is pretty good in this instance. But if they decide to run up the middle on you, woo, this play is bad. Like because they got this extra dude who could come block him. They got a dude who could come block him. And then you got a one-on-one with the halfback and your strong safety or free safety. So that's a situation that you want to avoid. But I mean, I love putting 4 men over here against 2. Unfortunately, I got lashed on that play. So again, I'm pretty sure all of this data will be from my team. Again, there we go. Here's one where we got the sack, so that don't really count. But let me see what the chat says. Nah, this killing Madden, bro. I stopped playing Madden for this game a long time ago. I stopped playing Madden. If you stink at Madden, you probably be better at this because you don't have to make all the decisions on the fly. I stopped playing Madden because I didn't have enough time in my life for both of them. But right now I'm a rapper and I got some shows coming up, and so when you get some shows scheduled, it free up some time. You feel me? And so now I could focus on recreation. A lot of the time you don't have time. It's sad that we don't even have enough time in our life for recreation sometimes. You're supposed to spend your whole life working. So yeah, there we go. Again, those are just some simple D's. Everything else should be really simple. If you could cover, because one wide receiver is really easy to cover. You could just start it with this man DE flats for your long, and you can put it on outside run or pass or even inside run. But if they want to keep running up the inside on you on the one wide receiver set, then this play is going to be detrimental. But this play makes the quarterback never see nobody open. And so that's one of the tricks to D'ing up a one wide receiver set. But you got to be versatile in a one wide receiver set. Man D flats works really well. Some of the better teams run a 5-2 man D flats, but I'm not one of them. Some of the better teams will run a man DE flats like this against a big tight end set, big eye, or they might run anything with the DE flats because of the outside threat on that play. So you can run these too, and people, your percentages will be good of how many times you stop the play. But I know how to exploit these too. If you want to exploit them, if you find a team that run these, then you just run slam plays. Not off tackle, but slam. Don't run off tackle if the right end is pulling out and going to pull your tackle out wide, and you're going to try to run outside of that. You need to run between the gap in the right end and the defensive tackle. So we giving out both sides of the game. Last formation, 2 tight ends. Now, I'm telling the whole league, I patent this. This is my play. And then when I see y'all running it, I'll be like, they learn from us. The shallow over 0 is the best play in the world to run against ISO halfback under. All right? Everybody who interested in this game, if you don't know what that play is, you're going to learn about it if you start playing. Watch. So I'm going to go to offense, and I'm going to go to pistol big, which is the more successful ISO halfback under. And I'm going to click ISO halfback under against man. And watch the data say the play that only I run be the one that's shutting it down the most. And I can prove only I run it because they give us the data. You could go look at all the years and say nobody ran this D against this. Look at this. 4-3 shallow. Well, that's shallow wheel, but I'm going to show you the difference between the two. The completion percentage against, that's 44%. So let me find the one that I want to show. It might be higher, but I bet you on the plays with my team, it ain't going to be higher. Let me see. Yeah, so is this one it? Shallow over 0, 41%. That's kind of high. But let's see if I like shallow over 0 or shallow under 0. And if one of them works better than the other one. This is the one that worked the best. But I don't know. I know why it's so high. Because my weak team, it ain't my team. But I'm the defensive coordinator for that team. They run my plays too. And so that's the only team. When we look in the data, they're going to be the team that made this percentage be so high, 41%. I guarantee you, ISO halfback unders is not getting no 41, and 41% is rather low, but it's not getting no 41% against this defense. Let me show you why. And I'll try to prove everything that I just said by looking at the data. So the main reason why you want to run this, see, look, I see nothing but goose eggs and as high as this 41% when we go to the data, and it got 1 0, 2 0, 3 0, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 plays. So how is that is that 41%? No. So look, this is why you do want to run this play against, see, look, all of these zeros, and I'm not being boastful, but I'm just telling you how to assess the data. Every goose egg is going to be my team. All of these completions is going to be the weak team called the Minota Maulers. Let's see if I'm lying. So I'm clicking the first goose egg. My team. The Bay Area's best Bills. Against a team that I was just trying to get to join with my team, but they don't feel me. And so watch what happens on this coverage. You're not, first of all, in this play, let me show y'all something. This is why you really want to run this D. In this play, the quarterback starts off by looking at the BTE. The BTE runs a route towards the sideline. And so what you're trying to do is make the coverback see his chief target as being not open for the first few ticks of the play. And so this is achieved in multiple ways by putting 2 players on the left side of the field against 3, plus by double covering the chief target. That's what this play does. You don't want to run shallow under 0. You have to run shallow over 0. You can put shallow under 0 in there as a double up, but this is how you stop halfback ISOs under. Look. So at this point, no quarterback is throwing to the left side of the field. He's just not. So what is he doing? Looking at his second option on this play, who's what? Double covered. He got a one-on-one over here, but look, my cornerback at this point in time is still looking at the quarterback. He hasn't been forced. You want to know why? Because he's playing 5 yards off in this play. So really what winds up happening is the quarterback get confused because he want to throw it to the tight end, but the play start, he looking to the left like, I'm not throwing over there. I got one dude looking dead at me and 2 dudes double covering. So now he looking to the middle of the field, that tight end cover, and the pressure coming. This is covered. Where you think he going to throw it? He either going to throw into a bad double coverage or throw it over here, but he's not really going to get, he's quick reading, so he possibly will get to this receiver over here, but let's see what happens. Nope. He still was stuck on the dude I got double covered. That's what you want. This is the D you want for halfback ISOs under. So that's one goose egg. We'll go through the history of all the goose eggs with this play my season. I'm going to own them all. Here go goose egg number 2. You're not getting that, buddy. Now, this completion, it should say Minota Maulers. Nope, he got a completion against us. So let's see where it went. He still threw it. They're trying to force it. I don't care if you get the completion if the coverage is this. And by the way, let's see if that's my tight end making the completion. No, that wasn't my tight end either because I got a tight end on his team. So, again, he got the completion because he got the roll that time. But look, this is still the coverage that you want. So now we got more goose eggs with that play. Same team trying to do it to us over and over. and we just know the proper D for that play. So that was a bad coaching because they should have known that we one of the best teams at defending that play. Look. Now this is my two teams against each other. This is a team I'm the defensive coordinator for, and it's a team that I own. I own the Bay Area Best Builds, the offensive team. So here comes the play right here. Wait, right here? Here it is. Same thing happening. We got two over there, but my quarterback don't respect them like that, just like dude wasn't respect. No, he gonna throw it to the middle. He threw it to the middle to the double coverage and made the completion. Same play because I'm trying to spam it. And then the middle back linebacker cloud popped up, and they got good coverage on it, and we had to throw in the double coverage. So these are all plays I'm recommending, and I'm showing real life using it. So that's good to know how to shut that down because that's going to come in useful for you. We've learned how to shut the one wide receiver, basically the man DE. Other than that, man, if you's new, if you got experience, you probably didn't learn much today. But for the people that are new or considering the game, you can set yourself up. I know people who getting blew out right now that don't even know this. That's about an hour-long video for GLB. So I'm not about to continue on this. I'm just about to get ready to start making my new team. And I don't know if this experimental team next year is going to... I have a feeling we're going to do really, really well, but it all comes down to a lot of factors. We only running this defense. I don't care what you say. You think you can lash it, lash it. But my blitz and safeties got stupid blitz awareness. My corners are gonna be tacklers, and my linebackers cover their zones really well, and they can shoot the outside run. So that's it for that video. Thanks for watching, and it's going into my catalog. Once I organize my page, I'll have a whole catalog of GLB information.